Hi there, it's Kelly Resendez, and welcome to my YouTube channel where we talk all things abundance and world positivity. So I want to dig into a topic that's actually come up a lot for me lately, which was really surprising, I'm going to be honest, which is imposter syndrome. I've shared a lot on imposter syndrome as being just an important area that we decrease so that we see more women go into leadership positions. But I want to talk about it on a more personal level right now. And so what we're seeing in data, like the last KPMG study found that 75% of executive women had struggled with imposter syndrome. Well, what does that tell you? It just tells you that it's very common and it's something that for many people actually holds them back. And we need to understand for those women, it didn't hold them back. So we know that they've gotten to that next level in spite of it. So we've got to learn from that data. The other thing that we need to see is that we believe about 10 to 20% more women struggle with imposter syndrome than men. So this could be one of those main areas that really is why we have a lot of disparity between top-level executives that are male and female. So what can we do about it, and how do we get to this next level in spite of imposter syndrome? So the first thing we have to do is break down what is imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome is just basically a series of thoughts or emotions that you have internally. A lot of times you may not even share it with anyone else, that really makes you believe or question your worth. It makes you question if you're skilled enough, if you're good enough to be able to apply for that next role, if you have what it takes to start your own company. You start to believe like you're an imposter in your own story. Like, who am I to be doing all of these amazing things? And I know for myself personally, I probably thought that I didn't have imposter syndrome. And here's what I found out for myself. I had been playing small. And when we play small, meaning we just do what we're good at and we stop ourselves from getting outside of our comfort zone, we're less likely to experience it. Well, we've all heard that magic happens outside of our comfort zone. So it's important that we stop and really evaluate where we are. Are we living just in comfort, or have we actually pushed ourselves to really, go after that calling? And for myself, it hit me like a ton of bricks in the last couple weeks. So I spent a couple amazing days in Florida with John Maxwell. We filmed a financial wisdom segment for his audience, and then he had a group of individuals that he brought in, and I just stayed as his guest during that period of time. And for myself, I felt confident, like completely confident while I was there. I rocked the segment. I felt really good about it. And then on my way home on the airplane, all of a sudden, I got hit with just probably the largest amount of imposter syndrome that I ever had. Like questions like, who am I to be, alongside of this man who's written over 90 books, who literally is one of the most well-known speakers and has the largest coaching platform in the world. And I started to really feel this on a deeper level. And it gave me some clues into what I believe are going to help all of us through this, whether you're male or female. I believe all of us need to really take inventory about what and how imposter syndrome shows up in our life. So the first thing that we need to know in our own lives personally is, what does imposter syndrome say and look like for you? Now, what I realized is that imposter syndrome had looked like distraction, and it had looked like a failure to take action towards things that I knew that I had a greater calling for. So I could have probably just gotten away with not doing more, right? I could have gotten away with just staying and doing exactly what I was doing, not flying out there, not taking that video segment, not, spending those couple days with him in a group of people that definitely were some of the greatest thought leaders out there in businesses. I could have stayed in that place that I had always been before, but instead I did push myself. And so what I recognized was that imposter syndrome can vary for all of us. So what you have to notice is, How am I distracting myself from doing the things that are going to make me feel uncomfortable and more likely to trigger imposter syndrome? So that's the first thing that we want to do, is really recognize how it shows up. Now, for you, it could be procrastination, right? Maybe you want to take this next big step towards your career, or have a conversation with somebody that really is going to get you to this next level, no matter what it might be, and you might procrastinate. That is something that many of us deal with, where we have a big idea, we want more, and we don't do it. That could just be imposter syndrome, because it doesn't want you to feel the way that you're going to feel, that insecure thought or that lack of confidence, which is healthy. It's so healthy for us to feel that way, because once we push through, then we can celebrate and be proud of ourselves for trying, not proud of ourselves for just crushing everything, like proud of ourselves for even failing, but we took those actions. That's how we build this muscle. The other thing that I would say is that it can just show up in varying degrees of self-sabotage. Now, I had an opportunity even in the last week to just hear a story about somebody that was working with a bunch of high-level people, and about 10 of them were supposed to show up. And what was fascinating is that 3 of them completely self-sabotaged, and they didn't end up showing up to what would have been a life-changing experience for them. And when I really looked at it, I knew they had hit an upper limit. They subconsciously sabotage their own ability to have this opportunity, because it was going to push them into probably imposter syndrome. Again, am I good enough? Can I do it? Are other people going to be impressed? Are people going to be proud of me? Am I going to be significant enough? Most of us stop short. So it's important for you to know, how does it show up? So for me, it was distraction, right? I could be busy and productive the rest of my life in my comfort zone, or I can push myself into this new realm of possibility where I am feeling a little bit uncomfortable. Now, I know with this imposter syndrome, the thoughts are the imposter. Who I really am, I am always going to be good enough, right? That doesn't mean I'm perfect, but I am going to be the best version of me that I can possibly be. So we've got to understand, is it distraction, procrastination, self-sabotage? How does it really show up for me personally? The next thing that you want to do in order to get to this next level is to really focus on your unique value. We all know that we are in a comparison world. It is so easy to get caught up. I know for myself, even doing this YouTube channel, I'm looking at people that I admire, Dr. Shefali, Brene Brown, Oprah, Mel Robbins, and I'm looking at what they're doing. And what I don't recognize is that I'm trying to maybe copy or emulate other people instead of just being authentically me. And I notice myself doing it. And I know that I am in this place where I am uniquely different. Why are you maybe going to relate to me? I want you to know, like, you can come from a small town and overcome perfectionism and self-sabotage and still be able to create an amazing career for yourself. So that's the other thing. You really want to just drop into your own unique value that you offer. Now, if you need to write it down every day, then do it. Really be aware of your skills, your passion, your purpose, all of these differentiators for you that are going to show you that you are enough exactly the way that you are. And then the third piece is that you are going to learn how to take action in spite of the imposter syndrome. Like, no matter what, it is about taking action. If you're thinking about writing a book, quit thinking about it. Go write a page right now. If you want to book a meeting with somebody, go take the action. We need to be bold in moving forward in spite of it. Now, I can tell you over time, I know that imposter syndrome will minimize the greater confidence that I build, but I also have to recognize that as we push ourselves to this next level, it will show up, and we need to learn how to take action in spite of it. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you share and subscribe to my page today, or even, go have a conversation with somebody that can help hold you accountable to being able to take action in spite of whatever imposter syndrome you feel. Have a great day.